Yes!
I am in Japan, I swear. Gundam, very Japan. Books, very Japan. They finally arrived, making me feel a little bit smarter. Alright, so I asked you guys to ask me questions about my move in Japan, because I figured maybe there are some and I'd like to talk about it, so let's do it. Number 1, favorite thing about Japan. It always has to boil down to one thing, doesn't it? As much as I like for that to be the case, just to make it easier to answer this question that everyone wants to know. Are you moving to Japan? What do you like about it? Well, actually, there's many things that I like about Japan. I couldn't really... Okay, I'm bored. You shouldn't say one thing. Just say anime and shut the... It's complicated. I just like it here, okay? What is something you just found out about Japan that you dislike? That's a good question. It's my first month here. Japan can do no wrong. Everything is amazing. I love it. Let me enjoy my honeymoon phase with this country, please. I'm sure there will be things. Oh, actually, I did find it strange how people ride on bicycles on the sidewalk. But now that I have a bike, I kind of get it. How do the people around respond to you guys? Like total strangers, or some of them recognize you? Yes, I still get recognized, but it's usually foreigners living here that recognize me. I've never been approached by a Japanese person. Although sometimes strangers just start speaking English to me, and I'm kind of confused by it. But I do think it's because people are nice and they want to practice English, maybe. I don't know. Favorite food in Japan? Sushi. You can't go wrong with the fish here. And as an epic pescatarian, I love the fish here. I get to enjoy the fish here. Very good fish here. UK? I can say it now because I don't live in you anymore. Your fish sucks. It's bad. What's up with that? Fish and chips? It's good. That's okay. Other fish? No.
Before we continue, quick word from sponsor.
To celebrate me moving to Japan, Opera GX, the greatest browser of all time, has made a surprise for me. With OpenGL errors, apparently. I think that's actually on my end. We got the PewDiePie bed. This is how we arrived in our private jet that has a pool. Oh, this is the team that built it. Sick. So Opera GX has this thing called the Gamer House or something. It's so funny. I love it. So they built me one in Minecraft. Oh, my recording studio. Let's go. Yes, it's like I'm walking in on myself. Hey, you got the PewDiePie videos. Let's go. So a feature that is amazing and with the Opera GX is just change of themes, which you can change. Oh, that's so coolly work. How did they do that? You can change your theme of your browser and they all look sexy as hell. I would recommend the PewDiePie one, which you can use by downloading Opera GX in the link in the description, but they have a ton of other cool stuff as well. This is so cool! Alright, where does this go? Oh, of course, another great feature about the Opera GX is the sidebar. You want to use Spotify? One click away, baby. It's always there. You want to use Discord? One click away. Twitch? One click away. WhatsApp? Always there. It's super convenient, honestly. Game changer. I feel like other browsers are starting to copy it, but they are on top of Opera GX is on top of all the new features. Love it. Love the sidebar. This is how hot your CPU will be without GX control. Oof. Do you hate your computer or something? Why are you letting your computer suffer for no reason? Just activate GX control, baby. You can limit your RAM usage. Hot tab killer, amazing feature. Find out which tabs are the ones that take up the most of your computing power. CPU limiter as well. Incredible feature. Oh my god, Sven! And Dark Sven. Oh, what is that? You made it all the way to Japan! Yes! Oh, you guys get your own big screen. Oh my god, it's Jurgen! Yes! You made it all the way to Japan! I got my Japanese cars! GX cookie cleaner. Oh, we got a sushi conveyor belt. I love it. Let's clear those cookies. Yeah, get those cookies cleared. GX. Oh, nice. Should we play? It is not super necessary, but goddamn is it nice that it's there. Let's check out the GX corner, baby. So we have the ability, of course, to turn dark mode on or off. Whoa, what's gonna happen? Oh, sick. Hey, we got the PewDiePie Opera GX theme. Beautiful. One of the finest looking one, if I say so myself. They also have the ability to force dark mode. Some websites are sociopaths and they don't allow dark mode. Opera GX says no dark mode. Protect gamers' precious eyes. They also have a feature to check out my latest videos if you use the link in the description. That latest version of the download will have an animated theme as well, so definitely check that out. So if you already have Opera downloaded, I recommend checking out the animated theme. They have a ton of great animated other themes. The game suggestion feature, I personally found a ton of great games through. And people ask, hey, how did you find this game? And I'm like, it's a secret. It sounds like such a fake commercial. It's actually true. It has happened. That's such a cool idea. I love this. Thank you, Opera GX. I highly recommend checking out. Link is in the description to download. It's available on your phone as well, which I recommend as well, because it's really easy to send files through your phone. They didn't show that, but they have a feature where you can share files from your phone to your computer super easily if you have the browser. And that's the end of this sponsored segment. Believe it or not, this was a sponsored segment. All right. Back to the video. How has Japan affected your lifestyle and content creation? Have you been watching my channel? I'm a vlogger now. Thank you for all the support on the vlogs. I really appreciate it. That's just been an undying love and support in the comments. And normally I'm a bit more private and I don't like to share too much stuff. I hardly post on Instagram and social media anymore, but it's been really fun to share this journey with you guys. And all the positivity just makes me want to do more. So thank you. What was the first Japanese dish you ate? I think a rice ball? Tuna mayo rice ball. Can't go wrong with that. What's the new hobby you want to get into? I look forward to build more Gundams while I'm here. I have this one that I bought also 2 years ago. That's gonna be epic. I like building Gundam. It's very fun and relaxing and you should try it. But I'm good on the new hobby front. I'm preoccupied learning Japanese as well. What was the most, oh my god, of course, Japan moment you had so far? I think when we try to apply for the bank account, I brought a whole folder of paper thinking they're gonna ask me for a bunch of weird papers and I will bring every single paper I have, and that still wasn't enough. So that felt very, of course, Japan. How is the vending machine life? Oh, I love it. I love it. I have like 10 different vending machines in my 100-meter radius, and it's incredible. How are gyms in Japan? Did you bring your workout equipment? The nearest gym to me is, well, I wasn't that impressed by it. It's not bad, but I prefer to work out at home. So I got myself a half power rack. I haven't gotten the weights yet, but I really look forward to use it. I know they have really good gyms here though. Connor told me they have amazing gyms with like pools and saunas and blema and a bama. I don't think it's worth it for me. I enjoy the flexibility of working out at home. If not for Japan, where else would you have gone to? See, this is a really tough thing for us. Since we weren't sure if we were actually going to be able to move or not, we kept thinking like, okay, well, what do we do? We go to here and where were they? And I think it was so stressful because it would always just come back to, but we still really want to go to Japan. Like, that's what we want to do. You know, I'm sure there's other great options out there. Japan is what we wanted to move to. Having to prolong the process and making it so difficult to move here, it just reassured us even more that that's what we actually really wanted. People who complain about how hot it is in Japan doesn't know what it's like to live in Singapore. I've been to Singapore during the humid place of things. There was a thunderstorm, so it was super hot. But no, actually, you know what? Some people think it's hot in Singapore and Japan.
Seriously,
but
I'm starting to sweat.
I didn't even notice. Compare Japanese lifestyle to Swedish lifestyle. I could be wrong, but I do feel like Japanese and Swedish people are quite similar in a more reserved kind of way of acting. For better or worse, I feel very comfortable around that kind of people. In America, it's completely normal to just start talking to strangers. That's super weird here, and it's super weird in Sweden. And I do like talking to strangers sometimes, having small talk. I don't mind that, but I feel more safe and comfortable in places like this. I don't know how else to describe it. I see Scandinavian products all over the place. I think they have a similar sort of feel for interior design and furniture and very minimal and aesthetic taste. I like it. Will you make a camping video in Japan? Yes! I would love to go camping. I'm very excited to do that. Me and Marta watched this anime called Eurocamp, and I told Joey about it, and apparently Joey went to that place they went in Eurocamp. You can camp right in front of Mount Fuji, and it looks amazing. Me and Marta love to camp. We usually tend to rent a van though, to make it a little easier for us and the dogs. I think we'll be okay. I would love to do it. The biggest surprise about Japan, even after all your research, nothing has surprised me so far, because I get this question a lot, and the thing is, we've been to Japan before. Like, many times. We would go every single year. We knew what we were getting ourselves into moving to this country, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Hey Pewds, so happy for you. Does anyone in Japan give you looks because you're a foreigner? People keep describing like the angry look. I just tend to avoid eye contact normally anyway, because out of habit of not wanting to get recognized. So I don't really know what the look is that people describe, like that disappointed look. I haven't seen it yet. How is settling down there? Is it difficult? Now that I have my setup, I feel really good. Like having the chair again, got my desktop computer, my monitors, my camera. There's still tweaks and stuff I want to do, a lot of it, but the general basic is here and it feels amazing. I love this office. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I really want to do a setup tour. What happened to the PC Lena sent you? I've answered this so many times. That PC has been a blessing and a curse, because I was obviously super happy and thankful for it. It was a funny meme in a video in a collab with Linus. But people keep asking me about it. I gave it to a friend because it didn't fit my office at the time. The thing was huge, and I couldn't find any personal use for it. And I couldn't justify sending to Japan. I don't think it would fit this room either. It was super funny, and I don't want to seem ungrateful because it's a great gift, but you guys got to start Googling a little bit. Come on. Is Marcia the yoinky to your spoinky? She is the greatest yoinky, the most amazing yoinky to my spoinky. Wait, is this sexual? Did anime introduce you to Japanese culture? I think it probably did, actually. I watched anime a lot when I was 18, but that's not what drew me to Japan. I didn't watch anime and was like, I want to go to Japan. Although I do remember the first time when I went here, I was a bit underwhelmed with how little anime there is. Like, there are places you can go, which is smack full, like Akihabara. And yeah, I guess a lot of bookstores and convenience, they sell manga, but it's not a thing everywhere. What is an underrated or unspoken about feature of Japan that you really like? It's not underrated or underspoken. I think people still know about it, but people visit Japan to see all the quirky and wacky and all the crazy toilets and the vending machines, the convenience, the amazing trains and all that. I really like the more quiet, love for nature aspect of Japan and more spiritual side as well. I think it's the softer side of Japan. You know, it has a wacky, crazy side, but also a softer side, which I really like. How's the weather there? It's great. It's nice to actually see the sun. Are you enjoying not being constantly recognized? Do you miss the recognition at all? I never cared for attention. I always smile when I meet people. It genuinely, like, brightens me up. I mean that, and I think people recognize this in my vlogs, that I can kind of let my guard down a bit in public, and that's also honestly part of the reason why we like Japan. No one knows who we are here, and I really enjoy that. As much as I like meeting you guys, I do also enjoy that. But also, don't misunderstand me. I always appreciate people coming and just saying hi for a bit. Have a lot of tattoos. Do you think I'll have a problem when to Japan? You'll be fine. They know foreigners have tattoos. There's nothing weird about it, but you won't be allowed to go in most onsens. You can maybe find a private one or foreigner-friendly onsens. Usually should be okay, maybe. It's worth trying at least. Do you plan on staying in Japan for the rest of your life? Bruh. Only thing I plan to do for the rest of my life is staying with Margia. So, I don't make plans for the rest of my life. Actually, I will keep lifting for the rest of my life. and reading. What's the defining moment that made you want to move to Japan? I think it was in 2018 when me and Marce had stayed there for a month. And at the end of it, we realized it was such a good time that we didn't want to really go back. And we both just imagined, hey, what if we actually moved here for a while? What would that look like? Would that work? And we started looking into it. A lot of things changed from that moment to where we are now, but I'm just so glad to be here. Are you getting a JDM car or example Nissan Skyline? I love the Skyline. It's a sexy ass vehicle. I haven't seen one here actually, but I did see a Volvo 740 decked out here and I was like, damn. That's what I should have. I'm not big on cars, to be honest. Like, I know very little, but being in Japan and trying to find the car that I want to buy here has really made me appreciate well-designed Japanese cars. They're just incredible. How hard is it to not know anyone, or do you know someone already? We know Joe and Aki, Tokidoki Emma. I met with Connor. He's really cool. There seems to be a ton of other YouTubers that I would love to meet here as well. Garnt, a fellow pizza crust hater, you know. I already know people and I look forward to meeting even more people. How is it socially being a resident in Japan? As a foreigner, socially, I want to move, but I don't know. Now that I'm showing this whole process of moving and all that, I want people to be mindful that, yes, it was difficult to move here, especially with the pandemic happening, and I'm sure it'll be easier, but from what I hear, and most people that move here find it really difficult because of the work culture being so much harder than they think, or really struggling because basically just working all the time and having very little money and yada yada yada. I don't think my vlogs are an accurate portrayal of what it's like being a resident here. Visiting though, amazing, and you should definitely do it. Does Japan feel very crowded wherever you go? No. Not at all, actually. People are always moving. Tokyo is huge, so you always have to be aware of other people around you, no matter where you are or what you're doing. But where I live, no, it's not crowded. If you go to Shinjuku station at 5 p.m., yes, it will be very crowded. But most of the time, ton of space. How much does it cost to move to Japan? Well, for me, it came with a big cost. Japan taxes is very strict, and that's definitely something I waived while considering moving here. But I made most of my money. It'd be silly for me to not move somewhere because of taxes. What is your favorite book on Japanese history, either nonfiction or fiction? I read The Sword and Chrysanthemum. I don't know if that's how you say it. It was written by Ruth Benedict, an anthropologist that was hired by the American government during World War II as an attempt to understand the Japanese people and their mindset at the time, which especially then was really hard to understand. It seemed almost contradictory, hence the title Sword and the Flower, basically, Chrysanthemum. How a country can be so hard and soft at the same time. It's two opposites and two contradictions, and sort of breaking that down. Some people say it's not accurate, some people say it is. I just find it really interesting because it's generally based on a really, really old mindset. Obviously, things are different and change. What are you using to learn Japanese? Mainly I'm using Anki, which is really good for vocabulary. You basically get a bunch of flashcards that you make yourself, which I like too, because then if I want to learn a word, I just put it in my own library and the flashcards will repeat them for me. I think it's a fun way to do it. I'm also using Todai, I think it's called. It's an app that lets you read simplified Japanese news, and they have translations and dictionary, and yeah, that seems okay for me for now. I'm trying to do stuff that I think is fun and focus on that, to be honest. So I'll let you know if it's successful or not. People got so mad at me for saying that I don't know Japanese fluently, or like I don't know any Japanese, I said, which wasn't true. It's not true. I just kind of feel like it doesn't come naturally to me learning Japanese, and I'd rather downplay how much I've actually spent trying to learn Japanese and surprise people, as opposed to saying, yes, I've studied so much and but then I can hardly get a sentence out or something like that. And also, like I mentioned in my vlog, people say like, oh, I speak a little bit of English, and then they're fluent here. It's just kind of odd to me. So at first, people ask if I speak Japanese. I would also say a little, and then it's like, oh god, I don't speak a little. This is impossible. I saw on my Reddit, someone was just making a joke that, oh, he had 3 years to wait to move to Japan, and he didn't learn the language. He just posted a bunch of memes or something like that. The thing is, and I think people don't realize it, since this process was so difficult for so long, we didn't think we would actually be going. I was actually sure that we weren't going to go for a while, so I kind of stopped learning Japanese because I thought, well, what's the point? And if we do end up going, I'm just going to learn quicker if I'm actually there. But after a while, I decided, you know what? I actually really enjoy studying Japanese. I think it's really fun. I read all these things about how good it is for your brain to learn a new language, and it's really healthy for you to do. So I thought, you know what? Fuck it. Even if we don't end up moving to Japan, I actually still want to learn Japanese because I enjoy doing it. So I would actually recommend people to learn language. Not to... I know that sounds preachy for someone that hasn't even learned the damn language yet, but it's fun. I like it. I'm not good, like I said, it doesn't come naturally at all to me. It's completely different than learning a Western language, I think, but it's a challenge, and I'm not giving up. Anything you miss about Brighton? I knew I would miss this, and it's seeing the ocean every day. You kind of take it for granted when you do live there, though. But yeah, it's always nice to see it. I started language barrier when having a casual conversation, like asking for directions. What kind of shocked me right away is that people speak very fast. And even words that I do know, I hear them say it and it doesn't register right away, so it takes me a while. So yeah, it's difficult. Why do Swedes don't feed guests at home? Okay. Yes. I've seen this. This is on Reddit as well, where someone posted like, what was the weirdest thing about different countries' culture growing up? And someone posted that in Sweden, when they were a kid and they were hanging out with their friend at their friend's house, when it was time to eat, he wasn't invited to eat together with the whole family. The whole of internet is just shocked and appalled by this, that they wouldn't feed their guests. And I will agree. It sounds super weird. I didn't, you know, there's stuff that you don't realize growing up because you think it's normal everywhere. Just like how Swedish pancakes are Swedish pancakes and not all of Europe pancakes. I remember the rules were, if you plan to go to a friend's house in advance, then it's a given that you will eat with their family. You know, no questions asked, let's go eat. But if it was decided on the day, hey, my friend is coming over, we're just gonna hang out, they would ask you, okay, do you want to stay over for dinner? And if the answer is yes, then you would have to call your parents and ask your parents, is it okay that I eat over at my friend's house tonight? And then the other option then is if your parents say yes or no. You know, maybe they say no because no, we already bought the food or prepared just the right amount for all of us, and you'll just be wasting food if you don't eat with us. So no, you'll eat with us. And then it's like, okay, fine. If that's the case, then yeah, you will just wait in the room of your friend while your friend goes down to eat with their family, because it would just be kind of weird sitting at the dining table and not eat anything. Plus, it was awesome if your friend had to go and eat. It was like, oh, cool, I'll just keep playing. Like, I'll just keep playing for 15 minutes. Great. And the other option, I guess, is if your parents say yes, then yeah, you'll just eat with your friend. I don't get it. It sounds really weird to me that someone wasn't at least asked. Like, okay, I'm gonna eat now. Do you want to eat with us, or are you eating at home? That to me sounds weird, although the whole concept of waiting in the room, that's totally a thing. Don't want to be all like, no, Sweden is the most hospitable country. I don't think maybe we are, but it does seem kind of odd. That would be a weird thing for anyone, I think, in Sweden. Are you planning to see the real-life Gundam in Japan? Yeah, I know they're taking it down in Yokohama, so I really want to see it first. There's another one in Odaiba as well, which I've seen. It's super cool. But the Yokohama one is supposed to move, which I want to see the moving one. That's the only reason I came to Japan. Will you help Connor clean his room? He probably still needs it. It's a little weird, but yeah, I would love to. If you raised your kids in Japan, what do you think the first language would be? Oh god, that is a weird one to think about. I guess they would speak Japanese if they went to school, but then they would speak English with us. And Japanese. And Swedish. And Italian. This poor child. What's your definition of a perfect lifestyle? Living your life freely, doing the things that you want to do with no pressure from other people. I think maybe part of growing up, you realize that there's so much pressures of what you do. You think it's your own choice, but in reality, you made it for someone else. And that's how you end up living your life without even realizing it. So for me, the perfect lifestyle would just be living your life the way you want to. Sounds simple, but not always the case. I would say rarely. Okay, I think that's gone long enough. Thank you guys for watching. Super fun to answer your questions. I feel like I look so Swedish here. It's insane. Anyway, I appreciate all the love and support. It really means so much to me. I didn't come here thinking, I'm gonna start vlogging, Japan vlog! But it's become something really, really fun, and I love all the love. You guys are great. Thank you. A brofist.